Right, we travel to Turf Moor tomorrow, lads, to a team that hasn't won a game in over 10 games. Nothing can go wrong, right? Smash the likes, subscribe if you're brand new. We're going to be doing a bit of a preview. Darren Fletcher's first game in charge with Johnny Evans, I think, against a Premier League team that we must be getting points across the board from. Because we did not succeed and we sacked a manager because he decided he wanted to go ban for ban with Leeds, talk about the board and the transfers and being the manager and blah, 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 and also not even securing against Wolves. So are we going to be seeing this absolute new phenom of tactics from Darren Fletcher? No. It's going to be a little bit more simple than that. And I think United need to do simple. We saw what we can do when we go to a back line, but in terms of moving the ball, I think we might see a little bit of a change of pace at most. Now, when I get through it, the tactics and stuff like that, I've got the whole board. I'm doing a fancy stuff, or I'm trying to, but Burnley's play a specific way, and last time at Old Trafford, they gave us a scare until I believe that Mancesco decided to score. If I'm right, if I remember. 3-2, ladettes. Let me know in the comments. But Burnley are predictable. And if we get straight into looking at their team, this is what it does look like, how they set up in a 5-4-1. And as you can see, all highlighted, they love it when a team sits back and they can have majority of the ball and they can try and bully high up the pitch. Just the difference is when it comes to all of these lot, the quality's there, but just not enough. You know, whether you got Broja up top or whoever else, you know, they're missing the other guy who usually plays up front. I can't remember his name now. He's really irrelevant anyways. You know what I'm talking about. Should do my research. But it's those two in the middle of the park and those two on the wings and Larson and Anthony, especially Jadon Anthony, who's got a lot of pace to kill us if it comes down to it. Now, I feel like United need a different approach. You know, we might have been seeing a similar approach if Amorim was in charge. And we do this thing where we like to step up and put the foot off the gas as soon as we go 1-0 up, which makes no sense. And one thing we know about Burnley is they hate when teams get at them, and again, eventually they crumble. Ekdal, Esteve, if he's going to be playing, they just can't seem to see out a clean sheet more time than less. No, Kyle Walker, not exactly the exact same Kyle Walker anymore. And then you got Perez on the left. It does not really matter. This is a side that is probably going to be getting relegated this season. Play some good stuff, like possession, but they want to hit you hard in the middle of the pitch, which is Ogachukwu and Florentino Luiz's job. How does Manchester United set up? Well, that's why you can see Larman's at the moment. I'm going to go on over here and check this. Let's just move Burnley back. The team I've gone for, I'm sorry if it's not the one that you lot like, but I think the pairing at the back proves to pick itself at this moment of time. You know, I feel like it sounds weird, but I think Aiden Heaven gets his spot on that right centre-back. I think he's proven that he can play with both feet. He's comfortable from taking it from the goalkeeper, and defensively he's still secure and good enough to be seeing out games, especially against the likes of Burnley, surely. And the one that's going to go next to him is the one that everyone loves, calls him the Butcher, is obviously Martinez. He's come back and he's even surprised me, I'd say. I think in terms of building up from the back, I mean, Euro would like to get a start here, but I don't feel like he's going to be getting the nod just because of recent form and the players that are just more suited at this moment of time. For someone to deal with someone like Broja, who is quite physical, you're going to have to put the two players that want to be physical back. And I think Martinez can definitely match him for physicality, and Heaven is just a bully at times whenever he feels like he wants to play some football. So I've got that going on. And we're going to dive into probably how we're going to see the game unfold with the players that we do have at our disposal. I think we see the return of the logo back to fullback, and I think we're going to see him in a certain role that we're familiar with his best of his game at that, to find something that suits him a little bit more under Fletcher if he is to stick to his principles, right? And the other one kind of picks itself again with Luke Shaw. So it's not like there's any significance, but, you know, does he pick Shea Lacey maybe? Does he maybe put Mantato in there? Yet to be seen. I would like to see a nod, but I don't think so. I think he's going to go with a trusted lot at this time. And also, I think he's going to try and bring the game to them. And I think, again, it's nice that we're seeing Bruno Fernandes and Mount. They have limited minutes. They should be traveling with the squad. I think if I'm getting that correct from what I see for the press conference, so that's huge news. I think we'll see definitely Bruno Fernandes come off the bench, but he's not going to go into the starting 11. Maybe he's just not that ready, and the medical team want to be definitely sure that he's gonna be able to play. And if we're going to go down this 4-3-3 route, I think we're going to see the likes of Casemiro going in a single pivot, but it's going to look more like a double pivot with high energy, as Darren Fletcher likes to press. It's the one that everybody hates, but had a good game coming out. I put Ugarte with him here. But I think, you know, I didn't see much about Kobbie Mainoo as of late, but I do think even if he was to be available, so I'm going to put Ugarte on the right over here, I think we're going to see Joshua Zirkzee go into a more advanced role. He's going to be the one that goes into 10, can drop deep, right? And I think because he can't get enough attacking options in the side so as much now because of fitness, I think we might see Zirkzee more in a 10, could look more maybe like a pivot like this even, but I don't think it matters. I think this has to be a high energy side, and Joshua Zirkzee definitely plays and operates better off the left. And if we can get a little bit of these guys in the middle here, which is it's going to be super important for us, if we can get these lot up the pitch to win the ball back and get turnovers, it will give us more ample opportunities. And why this might work, it could happen, is because of these two areas as well, in terms of the low and also Luke Shaw, which I think they're going to have 2 extra roles for us. And we're going to be surprised because we've been seeing them do a lot of bombing down the flanks recently. And I just not too sure if we're going to see that. I'm going to go with Cunha off the left-hand side. I'm going to go with Sesko up front. You know, Zirkzee and Sesko prove that they can have a little bit of a decent relationship considering they got the goal. Could have even got another one thanks to both of them again. And then off the right, I think he's going to stick with Dorgu for now. See, I expect United to line up in this shape, but how does United line up in terms of against these lot when it goes into possession is the bigger question. And I think a lot of United fans are quite excited to see what it could actually be. Now, if we're going to go off yesterday's video, if you haven't seen it, please do. It's the simple principles of how Darren Fletcher likes to set up. Now, he doesn't exactly have his players. We talked about Jim Thwaites. If we're going to highlight this kind of key area here, he doesn't exactly have that player. So what does he do to help that? We don't have anyone that can switch the ball like that at the moment until the likes of Bruno Fernandes comes on. But Casemiro does have it in his locker. And we also spoke about false nines as well with Sesko and how he's going to play. And I do wonder if he's going to have these two players right here. These two, Zirkzee and Sesko, I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of a relationship forming between them two, getting really close to one another. But Zirkzee's going to be the key into this, as we need to expose certain areas in the other side of the pitch, getting in between the midfield lines and obviously the back line. And I think he can do that. I think you just got to give him a little bit of trust. And that's something that Zirkzee hasn't exactly had for a long time by any manager, to be fair. He never gets the nod, or if not, he doesn't really get a run of games. We could even see it later in a game where Sesko comes off, Zirkzee goes up front, depending on who's playing better. We might see Bruno Fernandes go into this role. We might even see Dorgu come off later in the game. We might see Lacey come into that role. I think that's something that United fans can thrive on, because if we're seeing that we're winning, we want attacking players to come on, not more centre-backs. Because I think we've all had enough of seeing centre-backs. And you know what? Fair play to Dorgu. Because Dorgu, every time he's played on the right-hand side, he's proven to be a little bit more of a threat, but he should not be relied on. Right now, United definitely need more attacking players on that pitch as much as possible. But I wonder what's going to happen with the ball. So if I move these guys up a little bit, up the pitch, if it allows me to. He's not allowing me to. Love that. Thanks, James. Move it up a little bit. I'm not going to push it into the other side, because all these players, it looks a little bit confusing. But in terms of if we're going to have the ball, I think we're going to see a little bit more of this shape. These two at the back, I think a little bit familiar to something along the lines of the fullbacks inverted near Casemiro to give him the support that he needs. The low's got a good switch on him, so does Shaw. So I wonder if he utilises that. Meaning Ugarte pushes up, who's not exactly... He's not a creative player whatsoever, but winning the ball back and obviously high energy would be nice. And then we're going to see the likes of Xerxes, Cunha, which proves to be more of a 2-3-4-1 kind of shape. So I do wonder if this is going to be the lineup and how we're going to set up. Meaning if and when Burnley decide that they want to start playing football, you know, they're going to have to get down these flanks as much as possible. These areas here, which they love to try and thrive in to get a couple goals and couple setbacks. I mean, let's be real. All the team's got to do is shift. It's simple principles that we don't exactly see anymore at Manchester United, which is so annoying, right? So annoying. I can't, you know what? I can't even get over how annoying that is. And then obviously we can start pressing these teams into certain areas. But United need to go into this game thinking we can win 3-0. If you don't go and get the results and the goal difference we need, especially against a team that is absolutely nothing short of rubbish, then surely we might as well kiss top 4 goodbye. Because who are we going to beat? That's the way I view it. But it would be nice to get some goal difference on the board, you know, since we're chasing Liverpool and, you know, they got Arsenal, Chelsea's got Fulham away, new manager. It would just be nice to get somewhere when there's an opportunity to arise and get up the damn table away from everybody else that seems to be 3-4 points away down in 14th. Anyway, smash the likes, get your predictions in. Let me know who you think the score is going to be, or are you not so confident? Every comment matters. So if anyone wants to subscribe, like the video, share, all that good stuff. Much obliged. In a bit.